The Calvert County, Maryland Commissioner's Reports is a headline news podcast provided in part by the Communications and Media Relations Division. Commissioner's Reports is a summary of the agenda and outcomes of regular Calvert County Board of County Commissioners meetings, as well as related public information and events. Hello, and welcome to Commissioner's Reports. I'm your host, Kevin G. Schmidt. In this week's Calvert County Board of County Commissioners meeting, Proclamation, Preparedness Month. The BOCC proclaimed September 2022 as Calvert County Preparedness Month. All citizens are urged to join with the Calvert County Department of Public Safety and Division of Emergency Management in carrying the message of preparedness to the community. The United States Department of Homeland Security and Citizen Corps urge all Americans to take time to get an emergency supply kit, make a family emergency plan, be informed about different threats and their appropriate responses, and get involved in preparing their community. Suicide Prevention Month. The BOCC proclaimed that the month of September 2022 be known as Suicide Awareness Prevention Month in Calvert County and urge all citizens to recognize that suicide is a public health issue which everyone has a responsibility to acknowledge and prevent. Suicide is the leading cause of death among all age groups and is the third leading cause of death among individuals aged 10 through 34 in Maryland. Award. The BOCC presented a Team Excellence Award to the 21-person team comprised of individuals from the Communications and Media Relations Division, the County Administrator, County Attorney, and Technology Services for laying the groundwork for the creation of the Calvert County Police Accountability Board. The Team Excellence Award recognizes employees who have excelled as a group and displayed cooperation and teamwork in support of a common goal or project. Recipients include, from Communications and Media Relations, Daryl Baxter, John Bennett, Katie Britton, Sarah Eamon, Aaron Lowe, Kevin Schmidt, Heather Skyrum, and Terrell Gross. From the Office of the County Administrator, Ruthie Buckler, Rachel Distel, and Ashley Staples Reed. From the County Attorney's Offices, Nicole Harrington and Samantha Jones. And from Technology Services, Andrew Miller, Stephen Piera, Kat Poff, Justin Shutt, John Silcox, Heath Starkweather, and Shannon Weaver. Congratulations to all the recipients on a job well done. Public hearing. Department of Economic Development Budget Adjustment 41 to increase the FY 2023 adopted Economic Development Grant budget. For over 20 years, the Department of Economic Development has offered an annual tourism marketing grant through the Maryland Office of Tourism Development, which allows economic development to promote tourism in target market areas, recruit visitors, and increase spending in Calvert County. In July 2022, the Office of Governor Larry Hogan approved the allocation of $8 million in rainy day funds provided through legislation passed by the Maryland General Assembly. The Maryland Tourism Development Board awarded Calvert County a grant in the amount of $193,586. The total grant award is for $193,586, of which $37,404 is currently in the FY 23 adopted budget. Budget Adjustment 41 will increase the FY 23 operating budget by $156,172, totaling the full grant award amount of $193,586. After public comment, staff recommended and the BOCC approved the request to close the record and sign the resolution enacting Budget Adjustment 41 in the amount of $156,172. Office of the County Attorney, on behalf of the Calvert County Ethics Commission, Ethics Code Amendments. The Ethics Commission seeks amendments to the local ethics code required by changes to state law and some that have been recommended by the State Ethics Commission. The BOCC voted to close the record and adopt and enact the recommended amendments to Chapter 41 of the Calvert County Code to become effective upon the receipt of formal approval of the State Ethics Commission. Department of Planning and Zoning, FY 23 Budget Adjustment 59, Fund 28, Land Preservation. The BOCC established the Purchase and Retirement (PAR) Fund in 1992 to purchase, retire, and permanently remove transferable development rights (TDRs) from the development rights market, thereby protecting additional farmland acres from development. In 2021, the BOCC also directed staff to establish a TDR bank pilot program called the TDR Reserve. In fiscal year 2022, the approved budget for PAR was $1,530,000, and the approved budget for the TDR Reserve was $921,675. At the end of FY22, there was a par fund balance of $873,000, of which $471,064 was included in the FY23 adopted budget. Initial expenditures did not occur for the TDR Reserve pilot program until FY23, so there is a fund balance of $921,675. Staff requested a budget adjustment to bring fund balances forward in the amount of $1,323,611 and to realign the budget of $1,431,450 in order to use these two programs in FY23 for a total budget adjustment of $2,755,061. In addition to other revenues budgeted for Fund 28, Land Preservation, the total adjusted and approved budget for FY23 would total $2,804,675, including this budget adjustment. There is no fiscal impact. The BOCC approved a motion to close the record, approve Budget Adjustment 59, and sign a resolution enacting FY23 Budget Adjustment 59. In consent, Department of Public Works, Wholesalers Oyster Market, Waterman's Wharf Oversight Committee. The BOCC approved a request by the Waterman's Wharf Oversight Committee to authorize 1. The committee to establish an open, non-exclusive market for the sale of oysters to wholesalers that agree to provide not less than 5% of their earnings from the resale of oysters purchased at the wharf to the Waterman's Association for it to purchase oyster seed. Number 2. The grant to Tommy Zinn, as the current wholesaler, a non-exclusive license to purchase oysters at the wharf on condition that he return not less than 5% of his earnings from the resale of oysters purchased at the wharf of the Waterman's Association for it to purchase oyster seed. And 3. The placement and maintenance of a conveyor at the wharf during oyster season. The agenda item was adopted as presented. In new business, Department of Finance and Budget, Board of Education, Huntingtown Elementary Budget Adjustment. The BOE, Board of Education, has had some unforeseeable failures at the Huntingtown Elementary School. The existing septic fields that serve the school have failed and require replacement. The total cost for the emergency project is projected to be $300,000. The BOE has requested a county contribution of $75,000 for the project. After review of the BOE's Capital Improvement Projects, CIP, the Department of Finance and Budget and the BOE have identified funding in 4 CIP projects that can be used for the emergency project at Huntingtown Elementary School, totaling $75,000. The projects identified are either completed or the costs were under budget at the time of the project. The BOCC approved Budget Adjustment BA12 CIP to transfer $75,000 from 4 other CIP projects to the Huntingtown Elementary School CIP construction project. The Department of Planning and Zoning, Purchase and Retirement Fund, and TDR Reserve for fiscal year FY23. The BOCC established the Purchase and Retirement PAR Fund in 1992 to purchase, retire, and permanently remove transferable development rights (TDR) from the development rights market, thereby protecting additional farmland acres from development. In 2021, the BOCC also directed staff to establish a TDR bank pilot program called the TDR Reserve. There is $1,843,386 in the budget available for PAR Fund purchases and $921,675 available for the TDR Reserve for FY23. The Agricultural Preservation Advisory Board, APAB, recommends a purchase price of $5,000 per TDR for the FY23 PAR cycle and the TDR Reserve. A maximum impact of $2,765,061 is available in the FY23 budget, which includes $10,000 of anticipated agricultural transfer tax revenue in the current fiscal year. The BOCC voted and approved the Agricultural Preservation Advisory Board's recommended price of $5,000 per TDR for the FY23 PAR cycle and the TDR Reserve, and directed staff to open the PAR cycle to receive applications and continue with the TDR Reserve pilot program. Old business. Department of Public Works, Adequate Public Facilities, Traffic Engineer Consultant. The Department of Public Works and the Department of Planning and Zoning is currently developing updates to the Calvert County's Adequate Public Facilities Ordinance. On June 28, 2022, the Department of Public Works and the Department of Planning and Zoning held a meeting with the BOCC about the Adequate Public Facilities Ordinance updates for Calvert County. During the briefing, the BOCC requested that Public Works return with the traffic engineer to discuss the BOCC's traffic concerns in Calvert County. The Department of Public Works has coordinated the support of John Rectinus Preparedness of Wallace, Montgomery, to attend an upcoming meeting to discuss any questions or concerns the BOCC might have about traffic in Calvert County. There is no fiscal impact. The discussion included the level of service adequacy on state, county, and city center roads, critical lane volume and highway capacity, intersections with and without signals, and two-lane and multi-lane corridors and segments. After the presentation and discussion, the BOCC provided guidance to Public Works on updating the Adequate Public Facilities Ordinance for roads in Calvert County. Meeting. Office of the County Administrator. MACO Annual Visit. The Maryland Association of Counties President. MACO and Talbot County Council Member Laura Price and MACO Executive Director Michael Sanderson held their annual meeting with the BOCC Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. The representatives and BOCC discussed bills that went through the Maryland legislature and possible impacts for Maryland residents. The group encouraged interactive participation while giving presentations on the Emergency Transport Bill, Emergency Services Bill, and Highway User Revenues. In other Calvert County local news, the Calvert County Department of Economic Development is seeking local small business owners who are veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces and would like to be featured in the Spotlight series during National Veteran Small Business Week from October 31st to November 4th, 2022. A business with fewer than 500 employees is considered a small business. Businesses must be in good standing with the county and the state in order to be featured. Interested business owners should contact Economic Development by emailing info@choosecalvert.com before Friday, October 7th, 2022. Join Parks and Recreation for the 31st Annual Golf Classic. The Calvert County Department of Parks and Recreation invites citizens to participate in the 31st Annual Golf Classic Tournament on Friday, October 7th, 2022. The tournament begins at 9 a.m. at the Chesapeake Hills Golf Course, located at 11352 HG Truman Road in Lusby. The entry fee is $80 per person and includes green fees, cart, beverages, lunch, and a chance to win prizes. The tournament format is Captain's Choice/Best Ball. Tournament officials request that one golfer per team have a 6 or less handicap. Net proceeds from the tournament benefit the Thurman Gray Memorial Scholarship. For more information, call the Department of Parks and Recreation, Sports, Community, and Wellbeing Office at 410-535-1600, extension 2649, or 301-855-1243, extension 2649, or email sports@calvertcountymd.gov. That concludes our broadcast. The Calvert County, Maryland Commissioner's Reports is a headline news podcast. Stay current with other news in Calvert County by following and liking the Calvert County government's Facebook page at facebook.com/Calvert County MD, on Instagram at Calvert Broadcast, on YouTube, youtube.com/Calvert County Gov, and our official website, www.calvertcountymd.gov. Thank you.